everyone, welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Shraddha Gupta with us. Shraddha is a graduate from NLU Odisha and has received 2 gold medals as well from her university. In March 2020, Shraddha started her boutique law firm, Juris, and continues to work as a senior consultant with the law chambers. Shraddha has closely worked in several areas of arbitration and dispute resolution, including commercial real estate, corporate law, including drafting joint development agreements, business transfer agreements, employment contracts, share subscription, and shareholder agreements as well. Like, I can go on and on when it comes to talking about her, but I'll quickly sum it up for you. She has focused on representing clients in civil litigation matters at Ganu Co. And then she moved to Lakshmi Kumaran Sridharan in 2016 to take up practice of indirect tax litigation. And the year 2017, she moved to Trilegal, Hyderabad, and thereafter the law chambers, Hyderabad. And as I've already mentioned about her boutique law firm, Juris, which came to the picture in March 2020. But without any further ado, let me just introduce you to Ms. Gupta here. Hello, Shraddha. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, lovely to meet you. And I'm really glad that we're here. We're going to talk about your journey as a legal professional first, and then we'll dive deeper into your expertise and specialization. Sounds good?
Great.
Lovely.
Thank you for the invite.
Anytime. Pleasure is all ours, Shraddha. Shraddha, let us quickly talk about your journey as a legal professional, how it has been so far.
So to begin with, when I joined law school, I joined with the intention of becoming a corporate lawyer. But slowly and steadily, with the number of internships that I had taken, I realized that it's the litigation part of this field which is much more interesting. So immediately after I graduated, I joined a lawyer's chamber here in Hyderabad, more particularly to start with the district court practice. I confined myself to the district court work for about 2 years' time. And then to have a shift in the career option, I thought maybe I could experiment with a specific field. That's when I joined Lakshmi Kumaran Sridharan to try my hand on tax litigation, specifically indirect tax litigation. I was there for about a year or so. And during my 1 year's stint with Lakshmi Kumaran Sridharan, I realized that tax litigation is something that does not interest me as much as general core litigation, which is why I moved to Trilegal. And since then, there's been no end as far as litigation is concerned. I have started a real estate practice as well, and also ventured into a bit of corporate law practice. But yes, litigation is my core area of practice. And as of today, as we speak, I do have my own firm, Juris, which started last year. So that's all, and what you have said sums up about me.
Thank you so much, Shraddha, for throwing light on your journey as a legal professional. Can you please also throw light on the complex issues? Because we really love this question as an audience, and we really like to know, what are the complexities that you face on everyday basis. So any complex issue that you would like to, that you would like to talk about, and how did you approach it?
Sure. So when it comes to complexities in this profession, there are 2 different kinds of complexities: legal complexities and factual complexities. One of my most favorite legal complex case was where we were dealing with a situation of shambitious contracts. So champity is a kind of a contract where a party basically funds a litigation, and on basis of what chances the winning or the losing party has they fund the entire litigation. So this being a chance litigation is considered as illegal in India. And the law on this is age-old law. You have only 3 to 4 case laws which date way back to 1950s. And back then, because of the situation and because how people would function, such contracts were held void. But now if you see, not just in India, but in other countries, the concept of funding litigation has been introduced and is being widely accepted, because there are times when people are genuinely faced with legal issues, but they don't have enough money to fund their litigation. So we were dealing with a situation of this nature where a client, my client, had basically entered into a contract for supporting his friend for the litigation that he was in. And this contract was being considered as, was declared as invalid because it was Champeter's contract. Now, we did lose in the lower court. This case was taken up first in the lower court. In the High Court, it is pending in the High Court. We've got a stay order in our favor, and I'm glad that we were able to explain to the judge and make them understand that there is a need for the law to change from what it was back then and what it is now. And it's a widely accepted concept all over the world, especially in arbitration cases, and especially keeping in mind that litigation these days is very expensive. And it is, it being a time-consuming process. Today, a litigant may have money, but he may not have it tomorrow until the litigation gets concluded. So I'm still waiting for this case to be concluded. But yes, I'm glad that I'm working on this. Me and my colleagues have also written an article on this. And this, I would say, is one of the best issues that I could discuss.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shraddha. Now, let's talk about the pandemic and also the technology, like the new era of technology that it has brought in the legal space. Like it's a whole new revolution that has been going on.
Right.
So you have seen that this pandemic has seen a lot of remote proceedings. Like, what is your view? What is your opinion on this? Like, is this sustainable and a possible way to increase access to justice?
I totally agree that this is definitely the most sustainable media as of now. Remote proceedings have come in as a boon. But yes, this is something that I'm speaking for myself. I do understand that there are a lot of members in the bar who are not amenable to this change, especially senior members of the bar who have all through their life attended physical court hearings, read from the case files, have argued before the court. It's not comfortable for them to immediately adapt to this change. What is the most difficult part of the virtual hearings is there was no time given to this community to adapt to virtual hearings. But I think with time, maybe even today, it's been what, one and a half year. And I see that a lot of people have become comfortable to virtual hearings, and maybe another 2-3 years with further training and regular use of virtual trainings, I think everyone will be able to easily adapt to it, and we can use this as the only means of court proceedings, especially in cases which do not have voluminous records. I understand there's a need for physical hearings for cases having voluminous records, but for smaller cases, for cases which do not require a lot of court time, I think this should be made as a norm.
Thank you. And you're absolutely right. Even when we have a conversation with lawyers, they're kind of, they're able to manage things really well now because of, the virtual hearings and everything coming into the picture. But now coming to how do you rate the current legal system drive towards encouraging the access to justice? Do you think, like, is there a tangible movement in closing the justice gap?
I would say that the way the judiciary is functioning, the way the lawmakers are functioning, yes, there is an overt attempt in trying to bridge the gap. There are various laws which are being introduced, but on the same hand, we see that people continue to misuse the law. People continue to find the loopholes in the law and try to disrupt the system. So that is why, even though there is an attempt to bridge the gap, we still have a long way to go. There are a lot of, take for example, the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code. This was introduced very recently in the year 2016. till today, we have a lot of cases which are still interpreting the law because there are people who are misusing. There are small words, punctuation marks, which are being misused. There is dirt in the judiciary. We see that we need more judges, but there are a lot of cases which are being filed, and there are a lot of unnecessary cases which get filed. So the gap will not be bridged unless there is parity between the legislature, lawmakers, and we as individuals. So yes, we are moving towards it. I will not deny that, but we do have a long way to go.
Great. Thank you for throwing light on that, Shraddha. Now, let's talk about time because with my experience, I think lawyers are the busiest people in the world. That's what I would like to believe, honestly. So time obviously is money in any profession, and in legal it's most of all. But how do you ensure that you make the most out of your time? Also, how do you manage it like personally and professionally?
I'm still learning how to manage my personal and professional life. But yes, I totally agree with the fact that it is we as lawyers are busiest. And it's not just that we are busy because we are working for the client. The legal system demands that amount of time. And 24 hours in a day are not enough. So we look for certain small ways to come out of it, maybe a mechanism of reading a particular document in a manner that you don't invest as much time as it requires. Me, for example, I have learned the art of how to read a document. This is something I have been working on right from my law school days. For example, a case law, if it is a 200-page case law, I ensure that I don't read every sentence word to word, but just try to focus on a couple of words in the sentence, which will give me the gist of the sentence. So this way I complete reading a 200-page judgment in an hour or even less than that. So that's how I manage time. Then other things would be, I have stopped investing any time in listening to songs, because even for the time when I'm driving, I listen to a podcast, maybe a news update. So that keeps me on my toes, helps me, keeps me updated with a lot of points that I may have to work on or may I have to be updated on. And that also saves time for me. In the end, yes, I understand that personal life gets affected, but the fact that you are updated and you're well aware with what you need to do, and when a client comes to you and you can give them the right advice then and there without going back to review your books, is something which is more satisfactory. So yes, I would say that yes, we do have less time, but whatever time's available, investing 24 hours is worth it.
Quite some good tips for everybody out there, including myself. So thank you again, Shraddha. It was a lovely conversation with you. Sadly, we have come to an end of this interview, but I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you again on some other trending topics in the legal space. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Shraddha, please do not forget to like, share this video, and also subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Ms. Gupta. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.